is your humble YouTube live stream host, Timothy, back with another stream, trying something new today. And I think we're going to make this a staple on the channel. When we have videos that get a lot of engagement, a lot of comments, a lot of responses, and I feel like there's more to talk about, more to flesh out, we're going to do a follow-up stream where we discuss the topic in a live stream. So I can answer some of the questions I got, some of the comments I got. Y'all can, weigh in more, your side of the story, things of that nature. I think that'll be cool. And the video I did a couple videos back about why do we have to pay to live, that got a lot of engagement, probably some of the best engagement in for the past few videos I've had. So we're going to do a stream. We're going to talk about that real quick. I just want to say I'm not 100% comfortable with where I'm parked. I'm in a new city, and someone who does what I do, every city I go to, I have to find a new spot to sit and live stream. My Airbnb isn't conducive to live streaming. The walls are kind of thin. I don't want to bother nobody. So for the past hour or so, I've been trying to find a spot to sit at and live stream. So hopefully we don't have any problems, but if it was easy, everybody would do it. If this job was easy, everybody would be doing it. I said I wasn't going to, but I might put my glasses on here in a minute. We'll see. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, why do we have to pay just to live? Oh boy, we already got somebody creeping. See what I'm saying? Already got somebody slow creeping. We may have to relocate. I don't know. I don't know about this. I do have my windshield protector up, so I'm just checking, make sure nobody. I think we good. All right. Okay, so I got my other phone here because I'm going to pull up some of the comments. I'm going to pull up some of the comments from that video. I won't say anybody's names, but we're going to pull up some of the comments from that video and talk about those as well. Hold on, give me just 1 second. Let me get that video pulled up. Probably should have had this done earlier, but at least this gives us time for more people to come into the chat. More people come through. Let me get in here, find that video. Here it is. Pause it. We don't need the ad to play. Cool. So, welcome to everybody here. Sorry, if I haven't really been in the comments, but appreciate y'all being here. Likes are looking good. The numbers are looking good. So, one of the comments I got most on this topic, or one of the type of comments I got where the people were like just the most adamant, was people who immediately, when I said it does not seem right that we're put here and then we have to pay to stay here. One of the most adamant comments I got from people was that I was advocating socialism or communism. And I wanted to address that one right off the bat. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to need from y'all, okay, if you so choose to, is we got to let go of all these labels, all this other type of stuff. We got to let go of this as soon as someone speaks on something that's different than the norm or the accepted, that we put these labels on it and say it's wrong. All I was asking in my rant, in that video, all I was asking was for people to just stop and think about. Doesn't it seem kind of odd? Doesn't it seem kind of odd that we're put here freely? As far as we know, we didn't pay to get here. All the resources and everything we need to survive and have a good life are put here freely, but we have to pay for them. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't saying capitalism was bad. I'm not advocating, communism. I'm not saying run out and buy, Karl Marx books. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying, doesn't it seem odd to anyone else that everything is put here freely, but then we come up with this thing called ownership, and so most of us have to pay to eat, when all the things we eat were put here freely, or the means to grow the things we eat were put here freely? That's all I'm saying. But I realize, and this proves my point, when people say, Tim, you talk about the programming so much. This proves my point. People are so programmed, so brainwashed, and I'm not mad at them. I understand it. I get it. We was all there before we kind of woke up. People are so brainwashed that when you say to them, hey, can we just think about this? Can we envision? Can we fantasize? Can we just have a little fun and think about how nice it would be if we could just go out, catch our food, grow our food on whatever land we wanted to, live wherever we want to? Wouldn't that be cool? People so brainwashed, they can't even handle that. Hey, 133, thank you. Super Chat Squad, Abundance has definitely answered the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much for the love. Super Chat Squad. We are so brainwashed that we can't even accept the thought of that. When someone brings to you a scenario that would make your life easier, make it so you wouldn't have to be a wage slave, make it so that you could enjoy life. We're so brainwashed. People can't handle it. They automatically revert to like, oh, you're trying to be a communist. You're trying to be no, this is deeper than that type stuff. You have a problem with the free market. No. I have a problem with having to pay for stuff that whatever put me here or put us here, put here for me to be able to use freely. That's what I have a problem with. Now, I understand this is the society we've built, whatever, but I'm like, let's just think about it. Let's just talk about it. A lot of other people was like, Tim, things couldn't be free because people had to work to make those things. And then if they were free, you want people to work for free? I never said people should work for free. I'm not anti-work. I've said this many times. I'm not saying, see what people like to do. What people like to do is they like to take they want to take half of what you're talking about. In my scenario, what I was talking about, people aren't working 9-to-5 jobs. Why would we? People weren't working 9-to-5 jobs like that. We would just be living off the land. The work we did would be like survival stuff. You know, you got to build a house, you got to catch your food, you got to make your clothes, all that type of stuff. Anything extra we did, wouldn't be work. It wouldn't be work. It would be us doing our hobbies. It would not be work like that. People wouldn't, in that scenario, people are not working 9-to-5s to make this thing called money and then hoping they have enough money to buy the things they need. No, people would just go out because they would have free access to the things they need. People would just go out, get the things they need, take care of their family, and then the rest of our time, we would do our hobbies, do our passions. So you can't be like, oh, Tim, you want people to work for free. No, I don't want people to have to work like that, period. This is the scenario I'm talking about. And sorry if it's dark, folks. Like I said, it's been very hard for me to find a good spot today. So we have to work on this. We're making this work though. Like I said, if it was easy, everybody would do it. But I probably should actually be turned the other way. I think the sun is back that way. So we'll see. But yeah, that was another one. I'm not advocating people working for free. What does that mean? Like, I understand how our society works now. I understand how our society works. My question is, why are so many of you arguing for it? If it is working for you, right? If the system now is working for you, maybe you're one of the elites. Maybe you think you're one, you're one of the top earners, or maybe you are comfortable. At least, have the humanity to think about the billions of people it's not working for. At least have the humanity to think of the billions of people it's not working for and say, yeah, it would be better if as a planet, we didn't have to live the way we live now with people slaving away their whole lives and still not making it. With people slaving away their whole life and still being broke. This doesn't bother people. I'm the bad guy because it bothers me. We're the bad guy. Those of us it bothers. That there are literally people who work their entire life slaving long hours and are still broke, miserable, stressed, don't have what they need. There's no way on a planet like this that freely gives up his riches that you should work for 50 years, 40, 50, 60 hours a week and have nothing to show for it, be broke, be struggling. Been struggling the whole time. So my question to the people who were so quick to stand up for the system: you can't expect people to work for free, Timothy. I can expect you to have a little compassion for the people who aren't making it Mr. Comfortable, Mrs. Comfortable, or more likely Miss thinks you're comfortable, but you're in debt. Mr. Following the dangling carrot, thinking one day you're going to be the 1%, you're going to be the rich person. I would expect you to be sympathetic, have a little compassion for the people struggling. You might be doing okay or think you're doing okay, but there's billions of people who aren't. And it's hard. It's hard to realize this on a daily basis. It's hard to see this on a daily basis and know that it doesn't have to be this way. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't have to be this way. Lots of people like to think there's multiple dimensions of the same world. If there are many different dimensions of this world. Oh, he's getting deep now. He's really getting deep. He's losing some people now. You think every single, like if there's a million planet Earths just like ours, different dimensions, you don't think, and some of them, they figured out a way for everybody to like have access to the resources they need to just be comfortable? It's impossible. This is what people are telling me in the comments. Now, I want to say a lot of y'all, weighed in, agreed, maybe disagreed slightly, but you got the point. But for the people who are just like, it can't be that way. You don't understand, Timothy, that the struggle is what drives innovation. So many people said that. So many people said that if the system wasn't set up the way it is today, where billions of people aren't making it, are broke, are miserable, if the system wasn't set up exactly that way, there would be no innovation. This is how brainwashed people are. There would be no technological advances if there wasn't financial gain. That's not true. There would be no technological advances, Timothy, no innovation if there wasn't financial gain. That's not true. That's the brainwashing. There are other types of gain outside of financial gain. All throughout history, we've seen people who came up with inventions or other things and freely gave them up. They did it for humanity. They did it to help others. A lot of times they did it for other selfish motivations like prestige. Some people don't care about money. They just want to be like, hey, I invented that. So to say that if we didn't have a system set up like this one, based mainly around money and certain people getting more of it, there would be no innovation, once again, is a byproduct of growing up in a system like this and having blinders on where you think there's nothing else. Do you think the caveman, the Neanderthals, who came up with fire, did it for money? Let's think about it. There'd be no technological advances if there wasn't financial gain. So the wheel, fire, all this other stuff that our early ancestors came up with, they did it for money? No, there wasn't no money. Not everybody's money driven. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I'm just trying to get people to see like, hey, I see your points, but we need to be bigger than always defending the system. They said back in slavery times, sometimes two plantations would get together. Maybe both masses was having a party or something. So the two plantations would get together. And this was in Frederick Douglass's book. This ain't me. This was in Frederick Douglass's book. And he said the thing that was craziest to him was when you got the two separate sets of slaves together, all they would sit there and do was argue about who had the better master. Oh, our master better than your master. He give us half a day off. Nope, nope, nope. Our master better than your master. He give us potatoes on Thursday. You know what I mean? He's like, all they would do is sit around and argue about whose master was better. Now, part of the reason they did that is because that's all they knew. Actually, that was like the main reason. That's all you know. So as humans, we're competitive people. So when all you know is slavery and massa, that's what you're going to argue about. You taste a little freedom, you start to talk about other things. We see examples of this now. When you bring up a topic, some people are so deep in the system, all they know is slavery to the system. They can't. That's what they'll argue for. Oh, no, this is better than this system's better than that system. They can't see beyond it. I just want people to see beyond it. You got the right to your opinion. If you see beyond it and be like, nope, I still like it this way. You know what I mean? If you got on the Underground Railroad and escaped slavery back in the day and you went up north and you was like, you know what? I really don't like it up here. All this freedom is tiring. I want to go back down below the Mason-Dixon line and be a slave again. Fine. It's cool with me. Do what you want to do. That's all I'm asking people these days is like, expand your mind, see beyond the system. And if you see beyond, it's like, nah, I kind of like this. Like, what's his name in the Matrix? Got out, was like, put me back in. Being at Zion is too stressful. There's all kind of weird machines and you sleep in cave. I don't know. Put me back in the Matrix. The steak ain't real, but it tastes good. That's all I'm saying to people. Allow yourself to get out the system. And then if you still want to get back in it, go. But allow yourself to think beyond it. Hold on, I think we got some super chat love. Hey, 937, thank you. Super chat squad said, hey, Tim, salute for me and the wifey. What up, Miss Reed? What up? Oh, I dropped my phone. What up? Thank y'all. Super chat squad, I appreciate the support. Appreciate that love. Thank y'all so much. Thank you. And I agree. Whoa, Daniel. We all have different perspectives. I agree. But I think there are some things that like, there are some, and just reading some of these comments, there's some people aren't seeing beyond it. They stuck in it. To say that it is impossible for this world to be set up any other way than the way it's set up. A world in which a lot of us who are doing okay are struggling. You know what I mean? We're doing okay in America. You know, a lot of, what just happened? A lot of Western countries. We're doing okay. And we're struggling. You know, like, come on. So it'd be like, there is no other way possible for humans to get together and set up a system. That's not having a different perspective. That's not seeing the truth, in my humble opinion. And I don't, and here's the thing too, just because we consume isn't a reason to say we have to pay. We're supposed to consume the resources that are here for us to consume. Our ancestors went fishing and they caught fish and they ate them on a regular basis, but they didn't have to pay for the fish. So consumption doesn't necessarily equate to paying unless you have a system like ours where certain people own certain stuff. But if everybody owns everything, you don't have to pay for it. You just have to make sure it gets replenished. Once again, we're so stuck in this that I just want people to see beyond. I just want people like, you know what, Tim, you're a naive, delusional dreamer, but yes, it is possible. In some other dimension, the world isn't set up this way. And the reason, WM, I see you. Thank you. Super chat squad. Thank you so much. Appreciate the love. Says, happy Saturday, Tim. Love the Matrix reference. LOL. Scary, accurate to the current situation. Thank you. That Matrix was ahead of its time, or right on time. That movie. But like the reason, thank you so much, WM, Super Chat Squad. The reason I want people to even be able to like open the door far enough to let that ideal in is because the funny thing about truth and ideas is when you open the door just enough to let one in, another couple slide in too. You know? If the door's totally closed and you're closed-minded and you're like, this is the way it has to be. This is the way it has to be. nothing's coming in. But if you open that door just a smidge, just a crack, and you let one truth in, one ideal in, 3 or 4 will come in too. Like roaches and rats. You know, maybe not the best analogy, but y'all get it. More is going to come in. And then you start to think, well, what about this? Well, what about that? Well, wait, that doesn't really make any sense. Then you start to see so much of this doesn't make sense. It may be the system we live in. We may have to deal with it. But it starts with change. Definitely starts with people seeing there's a problem. That's all I'm saying. I don't really have any answers other than I think the more of us who get it and realize, hey, something's wrong here. This is not right. This is not right. The fact that everything was put here for us to survive, and yet people aren't surviving, yet people are unhoused, people are living in poverty, people are hungry. When the earth, we were put on an earth that could sustain all of us and feed all of us and house all of us and clothe all of us. The fact that we don't have all that is a problem. That's step one. I would argue we could have the same exact world minus the monetary, have to pay for everything system. We could have the same, it wouldn't be the same exact world, but we could have the same technology, I feel like. The whole world could almost the same on a barter system. On a system where we take care of one another. As a community, as a town, as a city, we make sure everybody's got a house. We make sure everyone has food. We make sure all the kids get to school. It'd be very simple for the world to be broke down into families, communities, towns, cities, and everybody made sure everybody in every group got everything they needed. Very simple. And most people would want to cooperate. If there was a few outliers who didn't want to cooperate, well, then they just wouldn't be part of the community. It's very simple. If you don't want to contribute to the community, well, you just ain't part of the community. Like, I mean, that's not hard. You know what I mean? Everybody looks out for everybody. Chad over there ain't looking out for everybody. Well, nobody looks out for Chad. Sorry, Chad. When you start being a meaningful member of the society, you're back. It's not that hard. And I don't think it would be chaos. Once again, look back at our ancestors. It wasn't chaos. We've been fed, thank y'all. We've been fed this idea that if things aren't exactly the way they are right now, it will be chaos. Why? Why? Humans have the same needs now. We would have like the same needs. This ideal that we have to have money and this like, why would it be chaos? Several people have said that. Oh, if we didn't have the system we have now, it'd be total chaos. Why? We have the same needs. We'd be the same humans. So if we didn't have a system where billions of people are going without, it would be like it's chaos now. Almost at 100 likes. I appreciate it. Hey, it's chaos now. It doesn't seem like chaos to some of us who are fortunate enough to live in countries like America, but it's chaos now. What chaos are you talking about that would be worse than billions of people not making it? What are we doing? Like, this is what I'm like, why and why? Why would it instantly be worse? Nah, we couldn't do it any other way. It'd be total. Why? I don't understand. And I understand that people strive for power. I totally get that. It's a human trait. There's greed. I mean, it's greed. That's why the system is the way it is now. And I understand that. I'm not saying that's not the case. I'm not saying I don't understand why the system is the way it is. I'm kind of saying, why do we put up with it? Why do we think that's the way it has to be? I'm saying that more than anything else. Like, why do we feel like this is the way it has to be? That's what I don't understand. Why is even bringing it up bother people? It's just crazy. It's crazy to me. Yeah, now we could take it a step further. Why are there always a certain number of people who want power, who are greedy? Once again, I think that is a human trait. And I think you will always have a certain percentage of the population who that's just how they behave. Yes, Daniel, if it wasn't this way, I probably would not be drinking a Gatorade. I would have had to make it myself. What is wrong with that? This is what I don't understand. Yeah, and people kept, well, you wouldn't have that car. You wouldn't have this. You wouldn't have. Okay, I'd have something else. I'm not married to any of this. I love my car. I'm glad I have it. Super, super grateful. I'm glad I got this Gatorade. But if someone was like, hey, I could snap my fingers, I could totally Thanos this mug up, and I could bring you into a world where everybody had access to everything they needed to live comfortably. However, you have to get rid of your Prius. You couldn't have Gatorade, and you couldn't wear North Face shirts. I'm not going to be like, nah, in that case, bruh, keep it the way it is. This is what I'm saying. Y'all got to give me some real arguments. Y'all got to give me some real arguments. I know I'm a naive, delusional dreamer, but I'm saying in the world I'm talking about, if I have to give up some of the comforts I have now so everybody's good, go. I don't care. I'm not going to be like, yeah, you're right. Might not be able to eat at Wingstop. No, stop. Come on, man. What are we talking about here? Come on, we're grown. Think bigger. Thank you, Jay. That's all I'm saying. Think bigger. That's the problem. We're not thinking bigger. And I'm not saying we're going to get to that perfect world, but I'm saying I think if we all thought bigger and we all realized, all right, this isn't normal. I don't need to be trying to spend all my time trying to make it in this system when there's something weird about it. Then I think we could switch it up. I think we could change it. Baby step incremental changes to make it better. Start going back the other direction. But so many people want to fight to keep it the way it is, and I don't understand. Like, if you was a billionaire, I get it. The reason, and this I disagree with, this is another thing. And once again, these are my opinions, folks. So people seem to think that if certain careers didn't make extreme amounts of money, nobody would do them. Example people love to say is, why be a doctor if you didn't make a lot of money? However, it's almost not fair to use that example because it's so easy for me to refute it. You have Doctors Without Borders. You have all these companies, all these charities where doctors go to other parts of the world and they work for free. They work for very little money. You have doctors all over the world in places where they have like free healthcare, where the doctors don't make a ton of money. So what are we talking about? There are millions of doctors who are healers, and they would do it even if there was no money because they care about people. Once again, if you are a caring, compassionate person, I feel like you understand that there are other caring, compassionate people. So it's a no-brainer to me that if my gift was healing, I don't care if I made $10 an hour to heal people. I'm doing it for the satisfaction. We all know people who do jobs just for the satisfaction. They take the paycheck, but it ain't really a paycheck. You know what I mean? But they do it to help people. So why wouldn't, especially if there was no concept of a job where you made $300,000 a year. You know what I mean? If we had no concept that you could make a ton of money, if you could make a poop ton more money than the rest of your friends, rest of the people around you. if we had no concept of that, no one's going to come along and be like, man, I would do this job over here, but I need to be compensated like this. People are like, what are you talking about? If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Hey, Pepe, thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you so much. Said it's because might makes right in the world. Capitalism is the most tolerable form of abuse so far. I wish everything was free, but humans are grimy. I agree. And once again, thank you so much. I appreciate the love. Thank you. And you're right. Like that's the answer to the question is very easy. So I'll admit it was not a rant or a question asked for the actual answer, if that makes any sense. We all know why it's happening. The question was more asked for us to think about the question and for us to envision a different world, and for us to ask ourselves another question: why do we put up with it? But we know why the world's the way it is. People are greedy. People want power. People want money. We know why. Might makes right. You're absolutely right. The people with the power set things in motion so they can get more money, more power. Why we put up with it is that question we all have to ask ourselves. I'm asking myself too. I may sit here and talk about it, but like, am I in the street with torches and pitchforks? That's why I say I think if it starts with us talking about it, it starts with it bothering us a little, and then I think we can start making incremental changes. If they keep going the way they're going, it might be big changes. It might be revolution. Hopefully peaceful. But if the wealth gap gets too big, they about to greed themselves out of their position. If the wealth gap gets too much bigger, people just not gonna go for it. And I agree with that, Daniel. You know, people are comfortable. And even people who aren't comfortable, if you sell them on the ideal that if you just work a little harder, you could be comfortable or you could be massively wealthy, people will put up with almost anything. However, we're getting to that point where people don't see hope. Excuse me. I told you when I watched that video, it was a TikTok, it went kind of viral, where this woman was saying, I don't know how my son's going to make it. I don't think my son's going to do better than me. I don't think my son's going to own a home. And if he does, he's going to be broke, or he's going to have like 8 roommates. You know what I mean? She didn't say 8 roommates, but you know what I mean? Like, people live to see their children do better than them. People put up with almost anything so that their children do better than them, or have the life they didn't have, or have the life they had better. If you start showing people a scenario where they don't think their kids are going to do better than them, why are they making the sacrifices? First generation, and as far back as we can remember, where people's kids are doing worse off than them. But once again, they keep trying to sell the idea. Oh, if y'all just ain't working hard enough to make us rich. Y'all only working hard enough to make us rich. Y'all not working hard enough to make us rich and y'all rich. That's what they're telling us now. You're working hard enough for us to get rich. You're not working hard enough for us to get rich and you to be okay. For you to have a house. You're not working hard enough for us to get rich and you to be able to afford the rent. So you need to work hard. You're not working hard enough for us to get rich and everybody have a place to live. Food to eat. No. Some of y'all got to work harder. You're not working hard enough for us to get rich and y'all to have health care. No. Oh, man. Hey, Super Chat Squad, Praveen coming through. Thank you, Praveen. That is love. Thank you so much. Super Chat Squad. It's a very interesting topic, Tim, and appeared on my feed just in the right time. Yes, I wish everyone was comfortable and happy. Thank you, Praveen. Always good to see you, my brother. And that's where I'm at with it. I just want everybody to be comfortable and happy. And I'm like, man, it seems like that's the way it was set up. whoever envisioned this, that's the way they kind of seemed like they set it up that way. That everybody kind of had access to everything and you just use what you needed. That's what it seems to me. And so that's why I'm like, what happened? Why did we allow it to happen? As it was happening in the beginning, why did we allow it to happen? And how do we, get back? Dr. X, yeah. If you just worked harder, if you're broke, it's because you didn't make the right choices. Country like America, that's how it is. Other countries where they may still have kind of caste systems and other kind of things, it's accepted that, yeah, some people were just born whatever. You was born in a lower caste, you were born whatever, you're probably never going to make it. In America, other Western countries, if you are broke, it's because you did something wrong. You didn't work hard enough. Good night, Test. The fault lies in you. And so that's why I think, too, we get so busy, downing ourselves and thinking we're doing something wrong that we're never going to say there's anything wrong with the system. It's me. You didn't go to the right college. You didn't pick the right career. Even if you went to the college they told you to and picked the career they told you to, they're like, well, you shouldn't have listened to that advice. You should have known better than to listen to that advice. Still your fault. Yeah, but I did everything they told me to do. Well, you got to be smart enough to know when to listen and when not to. You were born into a poor family, your fault. Parents' fault. Somebody's fault. Somebody got poor, it's their fault. Blame them, not us. Not the system that causes poverty. That's what I'm saying. I know for me, I just go through life. I still have to deal with the system, find a way to make money, pay the bills, all that. But I don't have that weight of thinking if things go wrong and I don't make it, it's entirely my fault. If I was just being lazy or whatever, yeah, very accountable. But some stuff I'm like, y'all ain't putting that on me. You know what I mean? Society got to bear some of this blame. This blame is heavy. Society got to bear some of it. If it's me, it's me. I agree. 11. Live healthy, make smart choices. Those of us who have the luxury of living healthy. Once again, I'm looking global. I'm looking global. I can't dwell on it because I could never sleep at night, but there's billions of people going to go to bed hungry tonight. I'm thinking global. But those of us who have the luxury of eating healthy, those of us, there's some people who never had the option for organic food. There ain't a Whole Foods on every blocks. You know what I mean? But those have the option, yes. And I've said this before. I think those of us who are in kind of a more comfortable, privileged position definitely should do what we can to help our fellow man. But beyond that, I think we should take advantage of the privileges we have, because that gives other people hope. Some people don't have the option to eat healthy. If we do, we should probably take advantage of it. Somebody got to be living, you know what I mean? But it also gives people hope. Man, there's some over there. That guy over there gets to eat real apples. I want that life. You know what I mean? So, well, that's a different topic. But everybody doesn't have those options. I want everyone to have those options. And if you told me, hey, Tim, for everybody to be comfortable, you got to get less comfortable, fine. This is just me. Fine. That's why when people are like, oh, it wouldn't be the same. You wouldn't have this, you wouldn't have that. Okay. Student loans are a trap. Mastered Spanish. That's a whole nother, yeah. Once again, that's the situation where you better do this or you'll be a nobody. And it just coincidentally, this you better do this is putting tons of money in our pockets. There's another group that uses that same business model. There's another group that uses that same business model. If you don't do this, you're going to go to hell. So you better do this. Coincidentally, you doing that puts billions of dollars in their pocket. We're not going there. I think we talking too much truth today. There's a limit. I'll talk truth. There's a limit. I know when I'm about to cross the line. You start saying too much truth. We're not going to go there. It's too many. Stick to one. You can't come at everybody. You can't come at everything. I'm just in that mood. I'm just in that mood. We talking today. Gone through some things in the past couple weeks, ladies and gentlemen. Life's still amazing. It is what it should be. I'm not the person who, there are some things in my life I still keep to myself because I don't think the internet is the place to air them, to try to get sympathy, whatever. Things happen in the world around me. I'm at a place where like we gonna be real, womb to tomb. And if tomb comes tomorrow, so be it. But we gonna be real until then. We gonna do what we want to do until we're not scared no more. Is what I'm trying to tell you. By the way, I appreciate y'all being here. The likes are looking good. The numbers are looking good. Super Chat Squad's in the building. I appreciate that. We here. We gonna talk. How you doing, Urban Lady? We gonna talk. This is life. You know what I mean? It's not serious. I don't need to walk around scared. We gonna talk about this stuff. It's just you look at the world, and it just seems like all the institutions that we believe in, that we've been told to believe in, been told have our best interests at heart, are just trying to get our money. That bothers me. Hey, Melanie, too. Thank you. Super Chat Squad. Thank you so much, Melanie. I appreciate the love. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, Melanie. Love that. Thank you. Abundance. Thank you. All the institutions we've been told, not all, most of the institutions we've been told have your best interests at heart. Government, religion, school system. They got your back. They're here for you, the people. No, they're not. They're here for the people in those institutions. They're here for the people who have positions of power in those institutions. They're not here for you. They just want your money. And that, I understand, that's why a lot of people see it, but they don't want to believe it. Because then, like, your whole foundation starts to crumble. The church don't. Now, once again, some religions do. We're speaking in generalizations here. We're painting with a very broad brush here. But when people start to see, man, the church don't care. The government don't care. This degree I got's worthless. Ha! The job don't care. What? You know what I mean? It starts to fall apart. So I get that some people just put me back in the Matrix. I don't want the whatever pill that lets you see the Matrix. I get it. Hey, Houston, we have a problem. Thank you, Super Chat Squad. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support. Preach. We talking today. Thank you for the support. I appreciate that. Thank you. I get why people want the blinders. They don't want to see. However, and once again, if this was 1973, whatever. This was the 50s, you know what I mean? There was a time when, like, the world was the way it was, but the average person was doing okay. Now, the world is the way it is, and almost like everybody's struggling. Everybody's overworked, underpaid. Once again, generalizing, but the majority. People overworked, underpaid. Hours going up. Pay ain't going up. Cost of living going up. Rent's going up. Pay's not going up. You can keep the blinders on. But you can't, I mean, like, the grocery money, that $300 a week you have for groceries ain't bringing in the same amount of groceries. Blinders on or not, disbelief or not. The people, every 4 years, we get all in a tizzy about and want to fight each other in the streets about, who we elect to political office, ain't doing nothing for nobody. I'm having a hard time figuring out how we keep having such division between the political parties when neither side's doing nothing for nobody other than their cronies and the people they owe favors. I'm with you, Rock Johnson. We need to go back to communities. I'm with you. I'm trying to find community. That's my new thing. I'm trying to find community. And I've been trying to find it, and I haven't, other than y'all, and I haven't been able to find it in real life. I said, well, maybe I got to make it. Maybe I got to start. You know what I mean? I've been trying to find a community, become a part of it. So maybe I got to start a community. That's not saying I want kids. I'm saying I'm putting myself back out there, folks. Is what I'm saying. But yeah, you can have the blinders on. Keep them on. But it's not going to change what's happening around you. I'm trying to figure out why people keep going along with all this stuff that's not benefiting them. If you hit my car with that bicycle, I promise you, I probably won't do nothing. Oh, by the way, real quick, I don't know if any of y'all watched my sidebar. If any of y'all watched my video yesterday, and I talked about the guy with the blanket who came up to me, and to my car door, and I didn't answer. I was just like, "What do you want?" I saw him again today at the park. And I gave him $1 because he walked past me. He was like, "Hey, can I have $1 for food?" And I'm like, "Oh, this time he told me what he wanted, so I gave him $1." Okay, moving back on. Marlon, I do think we are going to see a resurfacing of people doing things the old-fashioned way for two major reasons. One, I think it's people going to be like, well, I can't afford groceries, but grandma got that plot of land. Let me try to grow. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be a necessity. Two, I think as AI gets more prevalent, we're going to long for real more. We're going to want more real stuff. I think online is going to start. I mean, it's going to always be a part of our life, but I think we're going to start yearning for real more. And with that is going to be even more people, I think, trying to go off grid, have their own place, disconnect from, social media, the internet as much as possible. I think more people as that whole area, all this gets crazy. So what I'm trying to find some land right now just for that. I want some land, a couple different places, couple acres, just because I think, a 2-acre plot where you can grow something on is going to be worth its weight in gold 5 years from now. Because I think more and more people are just gonna be like, you know what? This is just, it's gonna seem, we thought, and I think, yeah, the metaverse will come and all that, but I think there will be a lot of people who's like, I don't want nothing to do with none of that. I just want something real. Old school. I just want to have me a dwelling that I own. I don't owe nothing on it but the property taxes. That's another video. And I just want to be able to raise chickens or goats and wheat or barley. I'm just naming stuff. Rhubarb. I'm just grapes. I don't know. But I think that's going to be, it's popular now, but I think it's going to get real popular. I was right about RV living. I did a video years ago. I said, we haven't seen, this was probably 2017, 6 years ago. I said, we haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg in RV living. So I think I'm right about this one. If you can get you some land, get you a couple acres. I would love to have 50 acres by 50. I'll settle for 5. If you can get you some land, I think it'll be cool to just have somewhere you can go that's yours. You know, and there was a Drake quote. He said, "How can I address you if you don't have property?" That's been bothering me lately. That's been poking at me lately. You see what how can I address you? Don't have property address. Oh, that was deep. But I was like, damn, he right. I need some property. So we're working on that this year, next year. Yeah, people are gonna want something real for the money as money starts to get faker and faker. As money starts to get faker and faker, when we get closer and closer to a digital currency, I think people are going to want something real for the money. And land is going to be one thing that, like, especially land you can grow stuff on. Land, seeds, livestock, stuff like that is going to get very valuable because that's real. Because people are going to want to invest their money in something real. Because everything's going to get digital, and then, everything's hackable. You come from my goats, you got to find where I'm at, and you got to come up in here. And I can have ways of stopping you. You come from my Bitcoin, I might be asleep, not even know it. 3 weeks later, I go to check my little wallet, I ain't got no Bitcoins at it. I got no clue. Can't really protect myself from that other than, the ways they say I can. Come from my goats, though. I can have all kind of protection up on that bug. Come be what to. So yeah, I think real is once again, the system always corrects itself. So the faker, the overall system, I should say the universe, the faker money gets, the realer people are going to want to go. So, and once again, that's why I like having these discussions, because I think people are slowly waking up. I think these discussions help people to wake up quicker. And people start to say, okay, how can I use the system to get out of the system, or to hack the system, or to not be so vulnerable to the system? If I'm getting up, going to work every day, can I take a portion of that money, put it aside, and use it for something that's for my exit strategy, or for my emergency fund, or emergency escape, or whatever? Instead of me just working, getting money, throwing it all back in the system, totally believing in the system, can I take some of that money that my time and effort is being spent making and use that for me? That's something that I feel like us having these discussions and us talking to our friends and family, somebody waking up in 2023 instead of 2028, that 5 years of them doing whatever could be, life-changing. People gonna wake up. Daniel, I would love to wake up at the crack of dawn and milk cows, till the land. Bro, I would love to work like that. I would love to work like that. That's my problem with regular work. It don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? I love cleaning hotel rooms, but in the back of my mind, this is the front. The back of my mind, it's not real. I could be in Glacier making beds. It's amazing. But in the back of my mind, I'm just making beds for people going on vacation. You know what I mean? That's not real. But if I'm milking a cow to get milk for me and my family, or me and my community to drink, to nourish us, I'm out there tilling the land, whatever. I know we're going to eat this stuff later. That's real. That's real. And that's why I think even though our ancestors worked harder than a lot of us do, though keep in mind, your boy worked very hard most of his working career. And a lot of y'all do too. But even though I think our ancestors in general worked harder than us, I think it was easier because they knew where they were doing it. You don't mind tilling a field when you got your little 3-year-old son right there, and this wheat or whatever is going to feed him next summer, winter. So I don't know. I don't know what you do with wheat. The kids eat it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's, people nowadays, we sacrifice so much. Family, friends, whatever. It's the same back then. You don't wake up like, oh man. I mean, you might have been tired, but you know why you're doing it. I got to get out here and get these cows in, do what bop, 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 because this is how we eat. And you have that peace of mind at the end of the day, knowing you did what you needed to do to take care of your family. Not, I hope I have enough money. We get home from work now, we still stressed. And they had their stresses back then too. You know, you had droughts, all that type stuff. But you know what I mean? You know you did what you had to do. If everything works out, everybody's fed. Even if everything works out now, a lot of times we broke. If I went up, I worked 50 hours this week, my paycheck's coming on Friday. Even if everything works out, people broke. I'd much rather have their problems. But people died younger, Tim. Well, I mean, we living longer, but for what? Living longer isn't always better. I keep telling, this is my thing. We living longer, but if you're stressed, if you're 80 in an old folks home and nobody comes to visit you, take me at 55. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. These are things I think on. I just can't take things at their surface level and be like, oh, everything's better now because we have the internet. Everything's better now because in America, everyone has a car, which people are paying $800 a month. Car note on. But I do think, because we got to get this back positive, I do think it's going to, once again, the system will always correct itself. The universe corrects itself. And the worse things get, the quicker we're getting, the worse they get, the closer we are to the solution. The worse they get, the closer we are to the solution. Yeah, living longer isn't always better. If you have an amazing life and you live 100 years, yes. If your life sucks, if you're always anxious, miserable, broke, like 60 roll around, you like, all right, let me just get to my pension, then take me tomorrow. You know what I mean? I want everyone to have that comfortable, amazing life, so that when we do come up with technological advances that allow us to live longer, it means something. And I do think there's still ways where we can hack the system, however you want to do it, and still have more freedom, more of our time, more of our money. I think that's possible, even now. But that, once again, takes us realizing, okay, this isn't the only way. I think a lot of the reason they keep people alive these days is to get their money. Oh, this person's getting a check. We keep them alive. That money comes down. A lot of it comes down to money. Yeah, you grow your own crops. You have extra crops. You give them to somebody who doesn't have them. You feel powerful. I've never done it, but I'd imagine, I've got friends who do it. I imagine I'd feel very powerful if I grew some food and then got to eat it and got to feed my family and friends. I got friends who do it. All they ever want to do is give me food. Hey, we grew these tomatoes. You got to eat these. Oh, we grew these green beans. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Tomatoes, I'm all over. These veggies, y'all can keep. I'm trying to eat healthier. I'm trying to eat healthier. When I was, oh, y'all love this one. When I was in Vegas, my Airbnb host made me eat squash. She's like my aunt. I'm gonna start calling her auntie because we keep in touch. She made me eat squash. She didn't make me, but she put it in a bowl and put it in front of me. And said, oh yeah, you're gonna get a great review when you check out. We love having you here. Made you some squash. So I didn't have to eat it. It's not like she threatened me. But I had to eat it. But it was good. It was actually, I don't like squash. I don't like veggies, but it was good. It was good. And I need to eat more of that. But yeah, when people grow their own food, there's something to that. I imagine if you build your own house, you know, people built their own house, they never shut up about it. Oh yeah, when me and Margaret built a house. Yeah, okay, that was 34, Grandpa. 1934. Middle of the Depression. You could build a house for $3. They never stop talking about it. I want some of that. Here's a daydream I have, folks. I want to buy some crappy land, like by the interstate, in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, right outside of Knee-Knuckle or something crazy, where I-95 goes through Kansas. I don't even know if there's an interstate goes through Knee-Knuckle. Anyway, I want to do that and then be driving with somebody and be like, oh, that's my land right there. Oh, I've always wanted to do that. Just be like driving on the interstate out of nowhere, be like, oh, you see that I was about to say that mountain, but in Kansas, flat. You see that really, really flat piece of land right there? That's mine. I've always wanted to do that. We're going to have to make that work. Well, here's the thing. Produce. When I get some land and grow some stuff, I'll have to eat it. So it'll make me eat healthier. I'm sure I'll get some chickens too, because I like wangs, but it'll make me eat healthier. I'll be like, well, I don't like chickpeas, but they grew, so we got to eat them. I'm getting me some land. Like, that's on the list. Hey, Dusk, I'm with you about the wake and write. I didn't do it today, but last week I was free writing. I was journaling. It's the weekend, so I was like, Tim, you can take the day off. But yeah, I'm trying to get into writing as well. Get into waking up, writing. Yeah, and like on a piece of paper, pen and paper, pencil and paper. I'm trying to get back old school. I'm telling you, I'm heading more old school these days. Hey, Wilder, about to build T. Wilder, about to build a smaller home. Nice. Got some land last year. Nice, congratulations. I'm trying to get there. I was buying some land in Florida a while back, but I gave it back. I don't want to get into detail. I just didn't want land in that area. I got a great deal on it, and so I bought it, and then I was paying on it, and then I realized I really didn't want land in that area. So I just gave it back. Y'all know me. I don't haggle. The universe is abundant. Hey, just take it back. You've done a lot for me. Whatever. Just consider that, take that money, take your wife on a cruise or something. I don't, whatever. When you're dealing with good friends, the money is not important. You know what I mean? It would have been a slap in the face for him to have given me that such a good deal on it, and then me be like, I don't want it, but then be like, hey, but I need my money back. Late now it's done. But we getting some land this year. Hey, Spinning Wheel, glad you're off the sauce. It is the way to be. Am I open to Puerto Rico? I've never been, but sure. Can you lease portions of someone's land? I'd imagine. I think I would rather buy, though. Because if I lease someone else's land, then one day they could just come to, hey, I'm selling it. And then what I do with my crops. Now, there's a lot of affordable land out there. I'm telling you, like, everyone who's saying the earth is overpopulated, I'm like, you must have never taken a road trip across America. I'm telling you. I don't know what the rest of the world looks like. I've only been to 3 other countries, but in America, we got lots of land where nothing's going on, and you still can get some cheap prices on land. You ever drove through New Mexico? Huh? You ever drove through Arizona? Drive down to the Grand Canyon. Drive down to the Grand Canyon, Southgate. And you'll come back and be like, you right, there's land everywhere. Drive. Some of you up into the Grand Canyon. Tell them. Land all over the place. This for land for sale sites all over the place. You could use the acre land, $2-3 grand. Nothing going on down there. It ain't overpopulated. What up, Bella? R, if you're completely drained and knackered, love the word choice, after awful weekly work shifts, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Like this is the system we've created. Our ancestors were tired, but it was benefiting them. We're wasted, worn out, knackered for a paycheck that maybe is enough. My advice in our current situation would be, once again, realizing, all right, I can't keep doing this. Let me put my mind in, and of course, yeah, you're tired. I get it. But hey, can I take an hour every day and start doing research and start trying to figure out some other type of work or same work, another company, something. Even if it takes me 5 years, I got to figure something out, because like 11 just said, health is wealth. And like, if this ain't this, nah, we think that's normal. Oh, you're supposed to be wore out every single weekend. No, it's not healthy. It's not natural. It's not normal. And I think if possible, we have to do what we can to try to figure out something different, if possible. Sometime, or it just may take a long time, but it starts with realizing that, okay, this isn't normal. Whereas we're taught to believe it's normal. That's why they call it work. That's one of those sayings that really drives me crazy. That's why they call it work to the. I'm like, no, that's not what they call it work. They call it work because there was a Greek word, worko, or something, that we took the word work from. That's why they call it work. They don't call it work in Swahili. It's a totally different word. Where I'm from, I don't know where I'm from. I love as a African American, I can pick any country in Africa and say I'm from there when I want to. They don't call it work in Kenya, where I'm from. I know where Kenya is on the map. They don't call it work in Sierra Leone. Anyway, okay. And no one can argue with me. Nobody can say, that's the thing, nobody can say anything. If I say I'm from Zimbabwe, I'm from Zimbabwe. Can't nobody other than other black people argue with me. You not from Zimbabwe. What? You call... Okay, moving on. Gonzalez. Sorry, I was trying to pronounce your first name. I didn't want to butcher it. Should you downgrade from paralegal to secretary just to be a little less stressed? If the stress is worth, I'm assuming, the pay cut you take, go for it. If you can still pay your bills, just my opinion, yes. If you can still pay your bills, but the stress is going to be so much less that, like, it's worth it, I say go for it. Here's the thing, too. Could you downgrade, try it out, and then if it doesn't work out, I mean, you're still a paralegal. So if you go to secretary, you don't like that, you can always be a paralegal again, I'd imagine. So, I mean, it's as someone who has worked at jobs where I made almost no money, but had almost no stress, I'm here to tell you it's worth it. If you can still pay your bills, it's worth it. Lack of stress is worth it. When you go to work and you get your job done, and at the end of the day don't really feel like you've been at work, and you're like, man, they pay me to do this? All I got to do is answer the phone, tell the family they paid me. I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's worth it. Hey, Druby Drub, Super Chat Squad, thank you. So what's up, Tim? 1 week sober, nice. And on a road trip to Beach Mountains, North Carolina, let's go. Have you been? I don't think I've been to the Beach Mountains. I don't think I've been there. So have fun, stay sober, stay loving life. Glad to hear you're on a road trip. Yes, thanks for sharing, by the way. Thank you. We got Shark Zoo checking in. Super Chat Squad, thank you. Millie out there painting? Okay. Hey, the Great Reset checking in from Texas. My day's going good. Jacob in Utah? Oh, me too. From New Mexico? Okay. You've driven through New Mexico. You know. Thanks, Shark Zoo. Reading all the comments here. Thank y'all. Yeah, as someone I'm telling you who's worked, who set up a situation where I could work for very little money. That's why, what's up, Kino? A lot of the seasonal work I didn't make any money, but they gave me a place to stay. They gave me meals. I didn't need to make a lot of money, but I promise you, going to work as a house person, they called it houseman, but it's a house person now. And all I had to do was just like strip sheets off beds and take towels out and like restock carts and flirt with hot housekeepers. I was like, I can't believe they pay me to do this. I'm like, this ain't even work. I was like, I can do this forever. Now, I was drinking at the time and my drinking messed it all up. But that aside, it was totally different than other jobs I've had that were very stressful. And if you felt like you was at work all day, that job, I'm like, oh, it's 3:30 already? Now, I was playing all day basically anyway. Now I get to go. Like, it's totally different. Working a job with less stress because, like, it doesn't... I would say it feels like work is supposed to feel. You go in, you do what you got to do, whatever. As opposed to you go in and it sucks and it drags. And by the time you get off, you're so stressed and wore out, you can't even do nothing. All you can do is plop down, turn on the Netflix, eat you something unhealthy. You know what I mean? Like, that's not living. No. Yeah, they provided housing. Yeah. Most of the seasonal jobs I worked at, all of them I worked at, gave me housing. So, yeah. Virginia. Oh, okay. You can live that life in Puerto Rico? Hit me up. I got a buddy who's buying. Shout out to my buddy Mike. He's trying to buy some land in Puerto Rico. But he's from Puerto Rico. So, he's Puerto Rican. Excuse me. Terrence, what up? Wendy checking in. How do people eat unhealthy? Blah, you just shoveling whatever processed foods you've got. It's not. This was when I worked at Glacier National Park for Pursuit. They're on Coolworks, coolworks.com. They had a whole little employee village uphill within walking distance from the hotel I worked at. I think it was called the Black Bear, the Great Bear, the Big Bear, some kind of bear was the name. It was St. Mary's Resort was the name of the place. We had a whole little employee village back there. So there was I think like 12 or 13 cabins, and there was 4 rooms in each cabin, and then the bathrooms. Now 2 people per room. So I shared a room with a guy from Bulgaria. I forget his name. Super cool guy. Once again, that was a roommate situation where the only time some foolishness went down in the room, it was me, because I was drinking back then. So, but back in my drinking days, I was not above bringing a friend over, even though there was somebody else in the room, in the bed right there. That was my drinking days. But yeah, we had our own little employee village. We would have bonfires every night, play volleyball, sit around and drink. Like, there was a rec room. We go get on the internet. It was cool, man. It was cool. You just walk to work, you do your little job, and then, like, when work's over, you're in Glacier. Actually, St. Mary's was like right outside the gate. So you would we could go in for free. So you would just walk into Glacier, drive into Glacier. We go hiking, jump in the river. We'd all go down to the river, jump in the river, It was cool, man. It was cool. It felt like I would imagine college feels. I never went, but like, especially when you were working a non-stressful job like I was still good after work. I get off work, they go, oh, we're going on a hike. Bet. We're going jump in the river. Cool. I didn't jump in the river because I'm grown. But I would watch them jump in the river because everybody was scantily clad. But, you go down to the river. You might go grab something to eat. Like, all your friends live there too. So I'm going to walk down to my boy John's apartment. Walk down to John's apartment. We hang out down there. Hey, let's go up to the rec room, hang out. You know what I mean? But yes, I was getting stupid. Actually, I left that one on my own accord. I didn't get fired. They weren't, whatever. There was a couple times I missed work. But they weren't, like, when I left, They were sad. They were like, you don't have, it's okay. Like, they tried to offer me my own room. She was like, hey, if we give you your own room, would you stay? And I was like, no, I need to leave because the drinking is too much. It was too big of a party. Like, we literally was at the bonfire every night. You know, that was too much. Like, a man's got to know himself. So, yeah, it was just chill, man. You know what I mean? Like, way different than other jobs I worked that, like, really felt like work. This was like play. And you got, you know, oh, I forgot. Yeah, you just, actually, what we do first after work was go eat lunch. I mean, dinner, excuse me. So you go to employee dining room. They, you know, it was kind of like buffet. It was not buffet style, but it was buffet style, but they gave you what you say, how I want that, and they would give you your portion. So you go in there, you eat, hang out with everybody, then you go back and chill out. Coolworks, Daniel, coolworks.com. I've been talking about seasonal work for 10 years now. Well, maybe not 10 years. 6 years, 7 years. Go to coolworks.com. You can literally put in Glacier National Park in the search bar. You know, I just try to give out the game best I can. Crypto Pimp, I see you. Thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you so much. Today, Tim, it's a beautiful evening in Atlanta. Nice. A-Town in the building, stand up. So here's $10 with beverage fund. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Appreciate the love. The bevy fun in the building. Yes, we're drinking some Dasani. Got some Gatorade as well. Thank you so much, Crypto Pimp. Always good to hear from you. I appreciate your continued support. Thank you. Thank you. We here in the A, yes. I imagine it's probably as nice weather in the A this time of year. Jamie said, if you were at a national park but with no service or internet, how would you apply for your next seasonal job? Most of them have one or the other. Like, if they don't have internet, they might have cell service, but typically there's internet somewhere. So a lot of places, they may not have internet in the housing, but there might be internet in the hotel, or the office has to have internet. You know what I mean? This day and age, like, if you're running a business, there's got to be some internet. So the places that really don't have any internet, sometimes they'll be like, oh, we got a computer in the office y'all can use. Somebody's got to be tapped in, or you might have to take a trip to, you know, down the roads. Somebody somewhere in the area should have internet. So yeah, there's usually somebody. I would say, though, if you're going somewhere that doesn't have, like, pick a seasonal job that has internet, if possible, because it is a pain to have to, like, hunt down internet. Not to mention, we're also used to being on our phones or on our internet. Like, if you don't have cell signal, find a place with cell signal, unless you don't care. But, like, at least somewhere where there's internet so you can get on your phone. Because I've been places that, like, not very good signal. And Glacier, signal wasn't very good, and they were working on the internet and housing. So, like, that's why we were getting so drunk every night, because up in the rec center they had internet, but there was only like 4 computers, hardwired computers, and then if everybody was up there on it, it was slow. So we would just sit at the bonfire and get wasted. Like, I'm not playing. Like, if we had internet in our rooms, we could go in our room, you know. But yeah, go for the ones with internet. Yeah, the visitor center. That's what I would do at Glacier too. I would walk down to the visitor center because I didn't want to be in the rec center. Like, I'm an introvert still. So, like, if we were partying and drinking, I'm in the mix. But, like, when I just wanted to, like, get on my computer or do a video or want to upload something, I'd go over to the visitor center and I would sit there and use their internet. Yeah. Evergreen Lodge is always looking for a housekeeper. Evergreen Lodge is always looking for a housekeeper. I'll tell you, I'd be on Coolworks all the time. I probably could tell you most of the help wanted section, the help wanted now section. I promise you. But Evergreen Lodge is always looking for a housekeeper. That's no shade to them. I've never worked for them. They're always looking for somebody, though. You got to ask yourself. And it is pretty remote, so maybe that's it. The pay differs. The pay differs. So you'd have to ask. I think these days, most people are the lowest you're probably going to get. There might be some places still paying like 12. I'd say most places are 14 to 20. You know, a lot of the places in Colorado, the ski resorts are 20 minimum. So yeah, there's still some places that are, but it's a lot easier now to find a, you know, you can make it with $20 an hour at a season. You can make it with 15 at a seasonal job where they pay for everything. But I like John's point. Everyone should try a seasonal job for the summer. You realize you don't need much. Thank you. And I agree, John. And that really helped me on my journey to, like, you know, now I don't need much. You know what I mean? I downsized a lot to go to a seasonal job. And then when I got there, yeah, like I don't, to this, you know what I mean? I still 2 suitcase Timmy, like I got my backpack, 2 suitcases. I do have my bug out bag, but that I don't ever, you know, it don't really count. Like I don't need, that's what I'm always like, I don't know what people have that, like when someone has a huge storage unit, I'm like, what do you have in there? Yeah, having a dog does make it harder, Captain Chess. Captain Chaos, excuse me. But yeah, I'm like, what do people... Aren't motels cheaper than Airbnbs after the extra? No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. A motel is going to run you... Now, once again, when I talk about hotels and motels, I'm not staying down at the Fleabag Inn. Respect to the people who do. I will. But currently, I'm not trying to stay down at the Super 3. You know what I mean? So any hotel I'm trying to stay at is going to run you $80 to $100 a night. I can get an Airbnb a month for like $1,200. I can get an Airbnb for $1,000 a month if I wanted to. That's only 10 nights at a hotel. And that's with the fees. So nah, and it depends on the area. Like there's some areas you ain't finding an Airbnb for a month less than $3-4 grand. Bozeman. But like, yeah, I can find in Vegas. That's why I went to Vegas. They were monthly Airbnbs, $1,000, $900 to rent a room. You know, I kind of went a little bit higher than that because I wanted a certain situation. Even here, same situation here in Salt Lake City. So yeah, motels are pricey, man. Yeah, motels are, because there's no give. Airbnb, there's, you know, so different people have different discounts for monthly on Airbnb. They don't really do that at, you know, the hotels I'm trying to stay at. Good question though. John's phone broke, was without one for a month, found out you didn't really need it. Yeah. So yeah, maybe pick a seasonal job without cell service. It might, when I was at Yellowstone, first seasonal job, it had cell service, but it was very crappy. And yeah, that helped me realize too, like, oh, I don't need to be tapped in. You know, when I need to use the phone, I knew where to go. I think when I was at the YMCA the first time, the cell signal wasn't very good, except for because I used to have to go out to the tree. There was a tree you had to go to, and I could get internet enough on my phone. That's what it was. At the YMCA, when I first was there, they had internet in the rooms, but I didn't like to pay my bills. Oh, it was an open internet. It was an open network. So I didn't like to pay my bills over open network. So I would go, there was a tree you had to go to, heading into Rocky Mountain National Park, a little bit of ways. And if you went under that tree, you could get cell signal, and I would go under there and pay my bills. It's the craziest thing. But yeah, I really learned. So if I hooked my phone to the internet when I was there, yeah, I could have called and stuff like that. You had to call over internet. But when I was in Yellowstone in 2015, there was no cell signal. And like, I was cool, you know? Hey, Jay Boogie, glad you hit the like button. Good to see you. Lurk Squad. Yeah, I could have got bro, I'm not getting a VPN. Yes, I could have got a VPN. Now keep in mind this was years ago, so maybe I couldn't have. But once again, I'm about simplicity. So back then Tim didn't know what a VPN was, but even now, yeah, I'll just go walk under the tree. You know what I mean? Like that's another thing I got to pay for. No, it's simplicity, less. You know, I just go walk under the tree. And then I was halfway to Rocky Mountain National Park. I just walk into the park. That was the cool thing about the Y. You just, well, is the cool thing about the Y. You can just walk into the park. Like, that was cool. Someone said Happy New Year. All right, thank you. Captain Cat, yeah, I think I got all my roommates off Craigslist, yeah. I mean, there's so many sites, and I don't think the site matters as much as you like finding a good roommate. You know, you can use Facebook Marketplace, Roomster, roommates.com, Craigslist. I don't think it matters the site as much as doing your due diligence and making sure you get a good roommate, you know? How many jobs have I had, Peterson? Oh, whew, 20, 30. I've had a lot of jobs. I've had a lot of jobs. That's why when people be like, you don't work, I'm like, bro, you know how hard I worked the past 20 years? I was working in high school. I did work study. I was working in high school. I hadn't even graduated. I was working down at the nursery. Not the kids' nursery, the plant nursery. I wasn't doing no daycare. I was slinging them azaleas, them begonias. Actually, I was in the loading area, loading people's cars up with sod and mulch and all that type of stuff. Oh, it's Jewish New Year. Okay, cool. I was wondering. I'm like, where's it New Year? It's always New Year someday. Somewhere. Oh, the trees are starting to turn color. Okay. By the way, I'm liking Salt Lake City. I'm liking Salt Lake City. I'm liking this go new places, figure the place out. This area I'm at in Salt Lake City actually is very close to when I came through a couple months ago and I stayed for a couple days. It's 10 minutes away from where I stayed before. I really like this area. So I'm enjoying myself. Provo in the build. Patrick, I'm probably going to come to Provo next week. I'm going to hop on the front runner, go down to Provo, maybe walk around a little bit, grab a coffee, come back. So yeah. Ogden, I didn't get to see Ogden. I just rode the train. I got off the train, got right back on it, went back. But because it was the evening. But yeah, I'm gonna hit up Provo. I'm gonna go back to Ogden and walk around. I'm hoping. I was talking with a very attractive young lady from Ogden, so I'm hoping we get to link up. But I feel like she ghosted me. So. Ken, there's definitely, where I'm at, there's lots of mountains around. So this part feels as mountainous as Colorado. But, that's what I got to do this week too. I got to get up in the mountains. Ramal said Tim is everywhere and nowhere. Facts! Somebody said international man of mystery. More national man of mystery. I ain't been out the country. I went to Mexico, but I just want one trip out the country this year. Before the end of the year, I'll be happy. Hey, Chelsea, good to see you. Thank you. Chelsea P, thank you. Said, I just want to apologize about what I had been saying on your videos in Super Chat Squad. I didn't know I was making you uncomfortable. I'm trying to change my life and making changes are rough. Thanks for inspiration. You aren't making me uncomfortable. I appreciate the apology, but not necessary. I wasn't uncomfortable. About to be an accident. I wasn't uncomfortable. So everything's good. We all good. Thank you so much, Chelsea. And props to you. trying to make changes. Changes are rough. Change can be rough, but it's worth it. But I appreciate the apology. Wasn't needed though. I wasn't uncomfortable. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Well, thank you so much, Chelsea. Super Chat Squad coming through, showing love. That generous amount of abundance. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chelsea Pig. And you're welcome for the inspiration. You're welcome. Thank you. Hike the Y when you come down to Provo. What does that mean? Is that a trail, the Y? All right, I might do that. What made me leave after drinking so much when I was at Glacier? I was just drinking too much. I was missing work. I was sick all the time. I was making work, but being sick. Like you know when you're in a situation that's not working. And I knew it was only a matter of time before I really messed up. You know what I mean? So, and I had a friend there, and me and her were kind of, it was a very like, I don't even know how to describe it. We were mad at each other most of the time until we got drunk and saw each other at the bar, and then we'd hang out, and then we were mad at each other. You know what I mean? So every time I saw her, she had something slick to say, or I had something. It was just a, you know what I mean? It just wasn't, you know what I mean? It was just one of the situations. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get drunk and do something stupid. Me and her going to get to fight. You know, it was going to be something. I was like, it's really not, I think it's better if I go. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Hey, Alvin Anthony, thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you so much, Alvin. Hey, Tim, you should come to California, do a live stream at Disneyland. I appreciate the support. Thank you, Alvin, the continued support. I don't know, like, I'm not gonna hold you up. That probably won't happen. Hey, that you'll notice I don't really live stream in public too much. So going to Disneyland and pulling my, it'd probably be too much. It'd probably be too much. Not to mention, for me, there's really not a lot of desire to go to Disneyland. You gotta remember, I'm from Florida, so Disney World is the only acceptable Disney theme park. The only acceptable Disney amusement park is Disney World. Respectfully, you know, I'm Southern to the socks. Don't let this been living out West fool you. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Well, never say never. Never say never. That's what people say when they're trying to say never. But thank you. Thank you. Jamie doesn't drink alcohol in 10 months. Nice. Yeah, get you some booch instead of that hooch. That was good. I just came up with that. Get some booch instead of the. Oh, boy, God, I do this. Like I keep okay. What up, Nicole? Den Easy TV, what up? Booch over hooch. That's t-shirt. Daniel, I mean, yeah, I tried a Discord. Like, I'm just. I really don't care. Like, I'm just be honest. I don't really. There, you know what I mean? It's an option, but it wouldn't do anything for me. And so, like, yeah, I could start a Discord and someone else manage it, but like, what would be the point for me? Like, you know what I mean? And not trying to be selfish, but like, I don't think that it's necessary. You know, maybe I'm old school. Maybe it is, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't think. I don't know. I just feel like the community can stay intact this way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they're. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's could there be some benefit from a Discord? I guess, yeah, but like, it just isn't worth it for me to. You know what I mean? Like, I'm definitely not one of those creators who gets a lot going on. Y'all know this. I do my streams, do the videos, we talk. I don't even answer my Instagram messages like I should. You know what I mean? So Graham, you're at Ward University giving out free degrees in sobriety and free living. Let's go. What up, Graham? Any advice for someone who's about to get fired? Keno, I would be looking for something else. Maybe even while I'm at the job. I don't know. I don't even want to say that. I probably would. But I would just focus on finding something else, you know? And yeah, if you're trying to get out of the corporate world, I'd be trying to figure out what I want to do. You know, this might be the golden opportunity to leave the corporate world. So I'd be trying to figure out what else do I want to do, and then putting in them applications, sending out the CVs. You know, this might be the time to transition. Yeah, Peterson. Me and my dad talk quite a lot. Yeah, which I need to call him and tell him where I'm at. There was somebody else that said I was going to keep telling where I was at. Dope. I gotta remember who that was. Oh, I think it was my sister. You're right. It was my sister. I gotta text my sister and tell her where I'm at. I told her I was gonna do that. So thank y'all for reminding me. Yeah. I promised her I'd do that. So I'm in a new state. I gotta tell her. You know, you want to start a YouTube channel? Go for it. It's free. Go for it. Just use your phone, turn it on, just start talking, upload it, whatever. It's free. Timfest. Yeah, I gotta admit, ladies and gentlemen, just giving y'all the update. Because I gotta tell somebody. You know, I mentioned it in my last stream. Somebody told me to get on Bumble. I got on Bumble. Bumble's doing well. My Bumble's doing well. That's a weird sentence. My Bumble. My Bumble's popping. Stop. So yeah, you know, still actually I did. Okay. Tell me if I'm wrong. All right, tell me if I'm wrong. And on this one, I might have been wrong. Okay, tell me if I'm wrong. Especially my women with you know, especially my ladies. I need y'all. Fellas, I know y'all got me. Y'all gonna like, Tim, you ain't wrong. She wrong. But ladies, you know, let me know. It was a lady. I think she was late 40s, maybe. Attractive, you know. And we kind of matched. And I think we like sent back and forth. She sent a GIF and I said hello. Like we didn't really talk much. We just kind of, hey, how you doing? Pleasantries. And so then I was like, hey, do you want to just skip all the awkward text messaging or whatever and just meet for a coffee somewhere? I was like, I promise I'm not a weirdo. I'll even buy the coffee. Because I'm like, I don't want to do the whatever. And it took a little bit, but she messaged back, I think maybe the next day. And she was like, she was like, wow, you know, and she LOL or whatever. She's like, I really like that. She's like, let's do it. And so I was like, hey, you know, is there a day that works for you? And she was like, today, you know, later this evening or tomorrow. We were doing all this morning. And I was like, all right, I'm free tomorrow. You know, is there a time that works for you? She was like, midday, because I want to sleep in. Cool. She was like, where are you thinking about going? And I was like, hey, I'm not picky. Do you have like a favorite coffee spot or something? We can just go there. And she was like, not really. You pick. And then she was like, I'm more of a chai lady anyway, which I kind of know what that means, but CHAI, chai. I'm like, chai tea, chai latte. I don't know. But that was the point where I got kind of annoyed. Because then I spent like 30 minutes trying to find a coffee place that worked, that had chai. And I was like, why am I doing this? Why you can't just pick a coffee? I'm not from, and I didn't, no, meanwhile, keep in mind, I didn't tell her I wasn't from here. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm not from here. I don't know no coffee place. I go to the place I go to, but it'd be packed. I don't want to take you there. I want to go somewhere we can sit down, we can talk. You know, so I'm looking at all these coffee places. None of them are working out. I'm like, why she just couldn't pick the coffee place? So I unmatched from her. I unmatched from her. And now we ain't talking no more because we can't see each other no more because I unmatched. Because I got aggravated. I'm pretty sure I was wrong. I'm pretty sure I was wrong in that situation. I'm pretty sure my anxiety from going on a date, since I haven't been on a date since 2020, kicked in, and I was like, done. I unmatched. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing. Super nice lady, did nothing wrong, but I was like, nope. Why she can't pick a coffee place? I'm not doing this. Not doing this. I don't want to pick the place though. This is my thing, Frankie. I don't want to pick the place. The reason I said, what's your, I know she has a favorite coffee place. Unless she makes her chai tea at home. But this is something I do know. I've learned from, in the past, women really like you to pick the place for the first date. Women really like this. They learn something about you. They sit around with their girlfriends. Oh, he took me to girl, he took you where? Nope. He took you, oh, cool. They want to see where you want to go. They learn a lot from you based on your choice of first date. I don't be trying to pick the place, bro. I keep telling you. I'm looking for a woman who's like, all right, meet me down there at Indigo Coffee, 8 in the morning. You buy it. Cool. I'm with that. That's my type of woman right there. That's my type of gal. What's your favorite coffee place? She's like, oh, I love going to so-and-so. Meet me there. Boom. I don't like all this you pick the place stuff. I'm not with that. Oh, you pick it. You're the man. No. So, I might have overreacted, yes, but I'm cool with that. Because I realize about me, I do a lot better. And I know women typically don't. I'm telling you, but like I do a lot better with the woman who's a little more proactive. Yeah, unmatched from her because I didn't want to deal with it no more. That was immature. I should have dealt with it like a man. That was immature. I did that just today. Sitting at the park, unmatched. I'm not dealing with this. Mecca says, I got to pick the place. I don't like picking the place. I didn't want to tell her I wasn't from Salt Lake. I mean, I'm going to tell her. I'm not going to lie. But if I say, oh, I'm not from here, then she's going to want all them other questions. Oh, where are you from? What are you doing here? How long are you going to be doing? Blah, blah, blah. So I didn't want to go there. I'm like, you know what? Just go unmatch. I'm not doing it. Nicole said I was wrong. I know. Nah, she ain't watching the stream. She don't know how to do YouTube. Which I did tell 2 women I do YouTube. And that's another thing. I've been wondering, you meet somebody, what do you do for a living? I'm a YouTuber. One lady, she didn't ask though. I thought sure she was going to like, oh, what's your YouTube channel? She didn't, so cool. But if somebody does, I'm like, I just met you. I don't really want you to know my whole life story. Because all you got to do is pull my YouTube up. You know what I mean? So that's another thing. I'm like, because usually when I'm on apps and stuff, I'm headed to a seasonal job or I'm working at one. So I just tell them I work there. But I'm like, oh, if I'm just doing my internet thing, I got to tell them that's what I do. Yeah, Terry, they're going to ask the first date, though. They're going to say, what do you do? And I can't lie. And I can't be vague or they're going to think I'm a drug dealer. You know what I mean? If I'm like, oh, they're like, oh, you sell drugs. So you know what I mean? So that's one thing I was like, man, I really don't want to tell nobody, but I got nothing else. You can't keep it too obscure or they're going to think you're hiding something. Like you can't be obscure about where you work with a woman on a date. You can't. Ladies, tell these dudes, hey, where do you work? He like, you like, he ain't got no job. He sell dope. You know what I mean? I don't know. So that is something I think about. I was like, man, do I really even want to? But I told myself, I got to get back out. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be honest with you. Because apparently this has become the Tim's going to talk about Tim hour. Thank you for staying tuned in. The numbers look good. The likes look good. I realized today I've been letting myself go since I ain't been dating. Y'all know me. I'm a pretty chill person. You know, I wear the same clothes. I'm a minimalist. But I've been letting myself go. I could, within the framework of being a minimalist, not buying a ton of stuff, I could have been doing better. I've been letting myself go because I'm never around people where I have to, you know, dress nice. I got to keep my nose hair clipped. I got to get my ear hair clipped. You know, I have to have a nice shirt. You know what I mean? I've been letting myself go. So I'm like, you know what? I want to get back out there in the dating mix just so I have to. I went to the mall today. The mall didn't have a Macy's. I was very disappointed. I said, Utah, you got to do better. I go to the mall, I need Macy's. They had a JCPenney's. I said, that's, you know, close, I guess. I need a Macy's. Daddy needs Polo. No, I'm joking. But I want to do better. You know what I mean? Like I'm yeah. And that doesn't mean I'm gonna spend a ton of money, but I want to at least the things I have be nicer than what they are now. So I just thought I'd share that. Praveen, your dad's a hardcore minimalist? Nice. Someone asked my favorite city for nomadic life. I don't have a favorite city for nomad. I mean, the whole point of being a nomad is you like to go to a bunch of places. So it'd be kind of counterintuitive. That's probably the wrong word, but you know what I mean? Like if I had a favorite city. You know what I mean? Because as a nomad, your whole thing is you like to go to a bunch of different places. So it'd be weird to have like a favorite city for nomad life. Does that make any sense? Yeah, I gotta get out there. We trying. I'm back in these streets. So, hey, Michael, I appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate that support. Thank you. I'm back out in these streets. So I'm gonna let y'all know. Now, I will say, if I get on a date and kind of progresses and she finds out what I do and I got the sinking suspicion she might be a subscriber, I won't be able to give you all the deets because she might be watching. So if, like you'll know because I'll start laying it on thick. If y'all start hearing me lay it on thick, oh, I had a date with this gorgeous, beautiful, awesome, amazing woman. That's when you know I think she's in the chat. I think she's lurk squatting it. Not saying all those things wouldn't be true. Moving on. Let's talk about y'all. I don't want to make this about me. I'm just real. I'm just honest. So y'all gonna know. Y'all gonna be like, oh, he okay. He okay. We got it now. He all right. Yeah. He. She ain't that awesome, Tim. We get it. We know. She in the chat. We know. All right. He trying to go cheeks. We get. Nah. I'm just trying to find a little companionship, man. I ain't trying to. I've been letting myself go, though, ladies and gentlemen. Take your date to a sports bar to watch the WNBA playoffs. You know what I am going to do, Craig? That's a good idea, Craig. You know what I am going to do? Or this is on the table. If I meet somebody that's really going good, Vegas is only 5 hours away. We could just drive down, go to the game. You know the Aces are going to be in it till the end. Hey, I got tickets to the game. You want to drive down? Spend a night in Vegas, go to a WNBA playoff game, drive back tomorrow. Bro, I do this. Or I'm going to attempt to do this. That's a flex right there. $50 in gas, both ways, $100. Maybe $100 for the tickets and food at the game. You can get that done for $400, but it's a flex. You can get that done for $400. Go down to Vegas, spend the night, go to the WNBA game, drive back. You can get that done for $400. But it seems like it costs way more. Those are the dates I like. and you get to spend the night, you know what I mean? Not that I don't know if I'll be that comfortable with anybody that quick. The playoffs will be over. Middle next month, maybe. Praveen, turning 40 in a couple weeks. Nice, nice. Rick, okay. Rick Blasting, pretty basic guy. I get that. Got a date tonight with the AI software programmer. Okay. I was a little nervous there. I thought you were going to say AI software chatbot. I was about to say, hey, you do what you do, Rick. But AI software programmer. Dating up makes me nervous. I feel you. Actually, there's no such thing as dating up, but I know what you mean. So I feel you, but hey, do you. When you pull it off is that much more fun, you know what I mean? That much more of a pat on the back, ego boost, Yeah. Would it be a deal breaker if she didn't tell me she subscribed and watched? Nah. Half the people I know subscribe and watch and don't tell me. Like, that's a byproduct of being on social media. Is half the people I know, they may not watch everything, but they subscribe and they'll watch every now and then, and they don't tell me. I just know, because sometimes they'll tell me something that I didn't tell them, but I said it on the internet, and they know it. So that's normal. People, when you, like, there's people I know who, like, I'll watch their stuff and may not always tell. You know what I mean? Like, everybody does that. Yeah, like, that's natural. If you're talking to somebody and they find out you have any type of social media, they're gonna watch and not tell you. We all do that. You gonna lurk. You know what I mean? So yeah, because they want to try to see what you're talking about. So, and what usually happens is, I think, they get to a point where they realize you ain't saying nothing crazy. They get bored with hearing you talk about yourself, and then they stop watching. But my ex-girlfriend, she used to watch. I mean, I knew, but like, yeah, I was watching your little thing the other night. Yeah, I mean, that just comes with it, you assume, not from an egotistical standpoint, but like, you assume you have to assume everybody watches. So you have to tailor your conversation accordingly. So, no, I wouldn't care. That wouldn't bother me. I would assume she would anyway. I'd be mad if she didn't. Why you ain't watching? No, I'm joking. T. Wilder said women aren't supposed to date down. Okay. I mean, that's wisdom that women give other women. Because I've heard it a lot. Having older sisters, and y'all know me, I be tapped into women's stuff. Women like to sit around and say don't date down, but there's no such thing as dating down. So my thing is this: have your standards and stand by that, but don't judge other people by theirs. That's all I'm saying. We're all human, so there's no such thing as dating down. But if you feel like you need somebody who makes a certain amount of money or equal to you, cool. Just don't judge other people who don't feel the same way. Because my thing is, a lot of the people I hear sitting around saying, not saying you, a lot of the people in the past I've heard sitting around saying don't date down was single like me. You know what I mean? So like, just my situation, and I feel like I'd be the same if I was a woman. I feel like Tamisha would feel the same way. If I think it's love, I don't care. Up, down, whatever. Like, if this is something real, we can work the finances out. So you want me to pass up true love because he makes less money than me? Stop, bro. Like, telling you, y'all, you think Tim is vocal. If I'd have been born a female, if I was Tamisha, y'all wouldn't get away with half the stuff y'all get away with. Don't date down, girl. Oh, so I'm supposed to be just lonely and old and lonely like you. Okay. So I found a man that I think is gonna love me, treat me the way I want to be treated, but he makes less money than me, so I can't date him. Stop. So if the same man made more money than me, it'd be okay. So it's not about the man, it's about the money. Okay. Okay, I see what we're doing here. You got to think about these things. Hey, Daisy, thank you. Super Chat Squad, appreciate the love. Thank you, Daisy. Said, love y'all, missed you. Things are changing. We got this. Yes, let's go. Let's go. What up, Jennifer? I say date up, date down, date over, date under, whatever. I'm telling you, you have never met a woman who's been married 40 years to the same man and they got an amazing relationship who's like, girl, don't date down. She like, my Herbert didn't have nothing when I met him. Look at him now. You see, because a real woman, from what I've heard, a real woman looks at a man and says, you know what? That man's got great qualities. He may not be financially where I think where he might, want to be. But with a good woman like me at his side, he's going places. A real woman, and men do the same thing. Men, we have more of a, yeah, I'm going to take care of her complex. But a real woman, what I've seen, interacting with the strong women in my life, hey, that man may not be where he needs to be right now, where he wants to be, but me by his side, he'll get there. As opposed to, oh, that man ain't got nothing. I don't want to. What? That don't even sound right, bro. That don't want that. Did you want that to be your soundbite? Oh, that man don't got enough. I can't date him. He treats me wonderful. And while we're on the subject, if you make more money than him, he got to, do a little more. Shout out to the real women. You make more money than him, he got to do a little more. You got to think about this, ladies. He going to be really trying to, he going to try to make up for it. Because his ego in today's world going to be messing with him a little bit. Hey, beautiful woman, she kind of a little nervous. She dating up. We just talked about this. I'm dating up. I gotta really put in work. Keep this woman around. That man going to be in there. You know what I mean? He make more than you. He might have that, yeah, I'm taking care of her. She got to do what I say. You know what I'm saying? Nicole said, as long as he works hard enough and stays busy enough to get on my nerves. Facts. Facts. He going to work hard. If he broke, he can't. He ain't got no choice. He ain't got time to get on the nerves. He working overtime. He broke. He only got time for, work hard, come home, treat you right, go back to work. No, I'm joking. Date up, date under, date over. Facts. Stop dating people for what they have. Date them for who they are. Hey, appreciate that. 11 says a good stream. Yeah. Can he pay one of your bills? It might be your Netflix, but can he pay one? Baby, I got the Netflix. I got the Netflix. You get everything else, but I got the Disney Plus this month. You can't even get us the 4-device HD Netflix? You got us the $19.99 1-device Netflix? Baby, I got the Paramount Plus this month. You get everything else. I got that. I got the late fee on your library book. Okay. Daisy, thank you. Super Chat Squad. So hope your day was beautiful, Tim, and thank you as always. My day was, and it still is going great. Thank y'all so much for that. Appreciate the love, Daisy. Thank you. Thank you. Coming through with the International Super Chat Squad, the Euros. Nicole said, that's my type of man that pays the Netflix. Okay. If he's at the crib playing PS5, driving her car while she's working a double, I mean, if that's your type of... Tamisha wouldn't go for that. No. How he get a PS5 and no job? That's A. No, Tamisha wouldn't go for that. But if that's your type of man, he might be doing something to make up for that. When she gets home from that double, and he puts down that controller, he might be doing something to make up for it. That's all I'm saying. I ain't gonna knock the man hustle. I'm just saying to be sure put up with it. But Tamisha don't put up with much. I don't know the percentage of homelessness in Utah. I know Salt Lake City downtown. I didn't see a lot of them. I've seen some. There's some I'm sitting at the library. There's some right in front of me, but it seems a little lower than other places. What job do you do when you hate all of them, Joseph? I mean, the only thing I could say is keep looking. Maybe you'll find one you don't hate. But I mean, yeah, if you hate them all, that's different. I mean, the question itself is unanswerable, I guess. Well, I mean, the answer is you'd have to do a job you hated if you hate them all. But I would imagine there's a job that maybe you could enjoy. Hey, appreciate you saying that too, Wilder. A little Pop-Tart. Love that name, and thank you for saying I do go to the podcast. Thank you. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to jump off. Been going like 2 hours. Don't want to sit in this spot too long, and I need to go inside the building here, and hopefully they got a little boys room. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Big shout out to the Super Chat squad, the thumbs uppers, the lurkers, everybody who came through, the commenters. Shout out to Angela, our moderator. She was in here for a while. She might still be in here. Big shout out to everybody who's a part of this stream. Thank y'all for your input. This is one I really look forward to, so probably going to have more of these when there's a video that, you know, it has a lot of engagement and we want to talk about it. We're going to do these follow-ups. So this was the first one. There'll be many more. Thank y'all so much for being a part of my life in general, but also part of this stream, part of this community. I love each and every one of y'all. Talk to y'all later.